this is Mrs. Giroux, and I just wanted to try to quickly show you how to figure out what is going on in your classroom. So whether you're a student or a learning coach and you're feeling a little bit confused, you're feeling a little lost, if you're a student, here's how you can figure out how to get caught up. If you're a learning coach, log in and view as student so that you can see exactly what the student sees. And learning coaches, it's really important that you know what's going on, because if your student isn't able to hold themselves accountable at this point, you are the coach. You've got to coach your student and help your student learn how to manage their schooling, right? Okay, so let's look up above here. You'll notice that there is a little drop down box. You can't see it in this view, but once you click on it, you'll notice that all of your students' classes are going to drop down, and you can go to the different classes in here. Now remember, a lot of our electives classes are asynchronous. That means that there aren't any live classes, okay? So you want to find out, is this an asynchronous class or a live class? You can probably tell whether or not a student needs to be in a class, whether or not on the Class Connect course schedule it says required. If it says required, then the student needs to be there. If it's an optional class, it's probably a class where the student can go to get help. And learning coaches, you can log into those classes too with your student, and you are welcome to chat to us teachers and say, hi, I'm so-and-so's learning coach, and I'd really like it if you could just kind of show me around. My student's behind, and I'd like to see how I can help my student to get caught up. Get involved. We just can't afford to let our students fail in high school, because all of those credits, they have to be made up, and there are only a certain number of classes that can actually be made up before students have to do packet work, and packets are expensive. So try to get your students to do the work now while it's free, and that way their schedules don't get so full that it's really hard for them to keep up too if they have, you know, extra classes scheduled that they're trying to make up. So I'm in this music appreciation class, and one of the things I look at first is the grade on the front page, and I also notice how many topics have been completed. You'll notice only 3 out of 215 topics have completed, so obviously this overdue thing is not accurate, right? So ignore overdue. I like to check grades because that's the grade book, and if there's ever any teacher feedback, you'll see it here in that grade book, as well as whether or not the student earned the points they needed. And then you can go into content. This is where you will find all of the assignments and everything listed. Generally, when you click on course materials and you go to teacher contact information, you will find the teacher's name there, phone number, office hours, a number that you can text. Students and learning coaches, get your teacher's phone numbers in your phone so that it's easy for you to send a text message when you have a question if the live class isn't available right away. And use those help hours. Teachers love it when students come and ask for help. And generally, students who come and get help are more successful. Go back into that content. One of the things you're going to want to look for are recordings. You'll notice there aren't any recordings in this table of contents, and so that lets me know that this is an asynchronous class. That means it's not like daily live classes like you've got for math, English, and science, okay? So if there are recordings, that means that this student is supposed to be going to live classes, right? Check the course schedule when you go into the class home. Well, actually above that, go to my home. Maybe even at the class home, I think you can get there. If you scroll down, usually, maybe not in this view, but you will have the schedule posted. Probably isn't posted here because I'm making this on a day when there aren't any classes, right? But otherwise, right up above this is my home, and there is a schedule in my home where you can see all of those classes. You'll have to be in student view, or you may possibly have to have the student just log in, and you might just have to go into the student's login and see what classes are scheduled so that you can hold your student accountable to attend classes. You can check to see if a student has turned in assignments by going under Tools and clicking on Assignments. You'll notice that this class does have some assignments, and there are submission numbers here. So if a student makes a submission, you'll see it show up here. If it has been scored, you'll see the score, and if the teacher has feedback, there will be feedback there. And another trick is to go into the content and click on this course schedule. This is my favorite little trick, because if you go on full schedule and wait patiently, because it often takes a long time to load, you can actually see how everything has happened by date. So this class started Monday, October 31st, and what I see here is that the student completed 1, 2, 3 items. I can tell because there's green check marks, and then after that, nothing happened. You can see all these circles. Those are indicators that the student hasn't done anything. And I can even scroll down and say, okay, so today is December 12th. Where should my student be? Here we go, Monday, December 12th. The student should be on 4.18, the unit test part 1. Let's see, 4.18. So let's go up here to the table of contents. Okay, so when you're in this content, that's where we're at. We're in this content tab, and I had click course schedule and full schedule, and it said that we should be at 4.18. So there it is. The student should be all the way down here. In other words, the student should have completed jazz, blues, gospel, soul, and Motown, folk, bluegrass, and country, and all this rock and roll stuff, and be taking this test right now. Okay, and then what's left for the student after that is this hip hop, music, and culture, and then the semester test, right? So this course schedule is, to me, the most useful tool to help students get caught up. Now, every time you click on something in the full schedule, it is going to wipe it out, and you're going to have to like restart it from scratch. So if you want to just keep this course schedule open and then right click on things and open them in a new tab or a new window, that way you don't lose your spot in here, you can. Or you can just go right directly to the content and you can just start working. And how you do that is you just are going to click and read and arrow, and as you just continue to click on the arrows, you might have to wait a second for something to download, like it looks like. I don't know if that, I guess that's already downloaded. Just keep on reading and clicking through it. So this is like a textbook, so you're just going to keep on scrolling through. I know that I just kind of skipped over this last page here. Whoops, it's going to make me go back. And notice there's all of these documents. Now, if you have questions about anything, what do you need to do? You need to go and see the teacher in the classroom. Your teacher is going to have help room hours. Remember, I showed those to you. That was in the course materials under the teacher contact information, or you can just go to your course schedule, right? So make sure if you have any questions, write them down and go see the teacher in class, or text the teacher. I never mind, or you can email. But teacher communication and contact is very important. And then we could scroll down and see all of these other classes and basically do the same thing. I want to show you a live class. So like, you know, math is one of those live classes. So when we go into the content, you'll notice that I've got recordings in here. Okay. So when you've got a 6.01 quiz due, you're going to right click on this and open that in a new window, watch that video, and go and find your quiz. So that's a 6.01 quiz. So here's 6.01. That's the assignment. There's another assignment. Where's the quiz? Ding, ding. There it is. So right click on that quiz, open it in a new window, and then you can resize it so that that recording, that's the teacher teaching how to do the problems that are in that quiz, and your quiz are open at the same time as the teacher is showing you how to do the problems. have your quiz open and do the problems. You can pause that video, rewind it, whatever you need to do. Okay, so test taking strategy. Easy way to ace all of your tests. Remember, it's math. You've got to work in order, okay? You can't be going out of order in math because every skill builds onto the next one, correct? If your teacher wants you to go out of order, then make sure it comes from the teacher. Contact your teacher and say, hey, I'm behind, would be the smartest way for me to get caught up. It's a very valid question, and every teacher is just chomping at the bit to answer that question for you. Just wanted to give you an example of what it does actually look like in the grade book when you see that grading with a teacher feedback there, and how you can use that assignments tab to see, oh yeah, there was a submission and here's the grade, and if I want to look at the teacher's feedback, I can view it there. I have had a lot of times when learning coaches say, my student says that they have been turning everything in, but we're not seeing a change in the grade. Well, if you come in here and this is all zeros, yeah, student hasn't really been turning things in then, right? You can tell by going in and looking and seeing if any assignments have been completed. And tests generally are automatically graded, so unless it's a writing test, you should see grades automatically. You may be able to just click on the grade book and be able to see exactly what the student gets on a test. And if it's a low grade, like if I were a learning coach and I were looking at my student and they got a D or an F, I'd be like, you need to go back and watch that video again, or you need to go back and read that unit more carefully and get at least a C. All right, well, that's all I have to say today, everyone. I know this is a long video, but I really hope that you can be successful in helping your student to set daily goals and use positive reinforcement. I love to work for treats. Pets love to work for treats. So I'm assuming that your student probably likes working for treats too. So if you can make it fun and give some rewards, you know, throughout the day, and a big one at the end of the day, or maybe a big one at the end of the week if daily and hourly and minutely goals are completed, you know, that really helps to reinforce that work ethic that these students really need in order to be successful in the online environment. They need to learn how to manage their own success. So get in there and help them, coach them, teach them how to manage their online schooling. And then as they get good at it, you can start to pull back a little bit and give them the opportunity to do that self-management piece, which is really the key to success. Have a great day.